Before we begin, take a moment right now to open your heart to Jesus and listen to His message for you today. If this message speaks to your spirit in any way, don't scroll past it. Subscribe to this channel now to join thousands of believers who are seeking God's divine comfort and strength. Now, I must tell you that you are never alone and have never been alone. What you are about to hear is not just a message. It is a reflection of a hidden truth many souls discover only in silence and brokenness. There is one thing I can say with complete honesty, something I have come to understand deeply through life itself. It is loneliness. I know what it feels like. I know its silence, its weight, its invisible pressure that no one else seems to notice. Sometimes I even look at survival challenges where people spend a couple of weeks isolated in the woods, struggling with loneliness, and I find myself thinking, 2 weeks? If only they knew what true loneliness can feel like. But I do not say this seeking sympathy. I am truly okay. In fact, looking back, I am grateful for loneliness. Because without it, I would not have become who I am today. I would not be here sharing this truth with you. I would not care about the deeper things I now care about. Loneliness shaped something inside me, something unseen but powerful. And if we are honest with ourselves, we all know loneliness. It is part of the human experience. But there are two kinds of loneliness that quietly exist within us. The first is physical loneliness, the kind where you are completely alone. No voices, no presence, no one nearby. Just silence. And yes, it can hurt deeply. But there is another kind, a far deeper kind. This is the loneliness that exists even when people are around you. You could be surrounded by friends, family, even a spouse, and yet still feel unseen, unheard, misunderstood. It is the feeling of being trapped inside yourself, like no one can truly reach the real you beneath the surface. And over time, something strange begins to happen. We become familiar with this loneliness. It no longer feels like an enemy, it becomes almost like a companion. It is there in the morning, present throughout the day, and still with us at night. And slowly, it begins to shape how we live. Some people become afraid of it and try everything possible to escape it, distractions, habits, noise, anything just to avoid the silence. Others simply surrender to it, withdrawing from life, hiding away from people, building invisible walls around their hearts. And for many, whether they believe or not, we fall to our knees in moments of despair and cry out, God, this loneliness is too heavy, send me someone, a friend, a partner, someone who understands me. But here is the truth that often takes time to understand. In that very moment, God is already there. Listening. Present. Arms open. Whispering in ways the heart can barely recognize, what about me? I have been here all along. And think about it deeply. Imagine someone you love more than anything in the world, someone you would give everything for, standing right in front of you, but instead of turning to them, you beg for someone else. Not because they are not enough, but because you have not yet recognized their presence. This is not meant to bring guilt. It is meant to awaken awareness. Because if we take faith seriously, we must understand this truth. God desires to be the first presence we turn to, the first understanding we seek, the first love that fills the emptiness within us. When we look at the lives of the saints and spiritual giants across generations, one thing quietly stands out. They were often misunderstood, often isolated in their own way, yet rarely do we find that they were truly lonely. Because they carried within them a deep awareness of a friendship that never left them. And when we examine loneliness more deeply, we discover three hidden roots that shape it within the human soul. The first is presence. Not just people around us, but real presence, attention, awareness, being truly seen. Because we all know the pain of being surrounded by people who are physically there, but mentally and emotionally absent. The second is understanding. A deeper form of it is acceptance. The need to be seen as we truly are, and not the version we show the world, but the one hidden beneath fear, weakness, and struggle. And the third is love. Not shallow affection or temporary emotion, but deep, unconditional love. The kind of love every human heart is quietly searching for. We can summarize these as PUL, presence, understanding, love. And when these feel empty in our lives, loneliness grows. So we begin searching for people to fill these spaces, friends, partners, family, relationships. But as beautiful as these connections can be, they were never designed to fully carry the weight of our deepest needs. Because no human being is large enough to fill an infinite space within the soul. So what do we do when loneliness rises again? We return to the truth. Presence. God is not distant. He is not far away observing from a place we cannot reach. He is closer than breath itself. Even now, in this very moment, you are fully seen by Him, not as a distant observer, but as one deeply held in divine awareness. Understanding, there is a mystery here many struggle with. We often think God does not understand our pain. But in reality, it is we who cannot fully understand what we are going through. God understands every layer of your existence, every thought, every hidden emotion, every silent wound, every joy, every fear, every motive beneath your actions. Nothing about you is unknown to Him. Acceptance. This does not mean acceptance of sin, because sin is not your identity. It is something external that distorts the truth of who you are. But your true self, your essence, is fully known and fully embraced by God. And finally, love. We often misunderstand love as something based on feelings or circumstances. If life is good, we feel loved. If life is hard, we feel abandoned. But divine love is not like that. Love, in its purest form, is willing the good of another. And what greater good exists than existence itself? Take a moment and reflect on this. If the very act of you being loved was what sustained your existence, then the moment that love stopped, you would cease to be. In a mysterious but beautiful way, this is how divine love works. The fact that you are alive right now is evidence that you are continuously held in that love. So when loneliness returns, do not run from it. Let it become a reminder, a signal, a call back to presence, understanding, and love that never fail. And here is the deeper truth: if God is the source of these three, then no human being was ever meant to replace Him in that role. This is not rejection of relationships, it is restoration of order. When we stop demanding from people what only God can give, something beautiful happens. Our relationships become healthier. Our expectations become lighter. And our hearts become freer. Loneliness then transforms. It is no longer a prison, it becomes a compass pointing us home. So when you feel it again, pause, breathe, and return inward. Not to emptiness, but to presence. Because you are never truly alone. You are seen. You are known. You are loved. And above all things, you are held. And as you walk through life, remember this: even if every person turns away, there remains a presence that will never abandon you. Rest in that truth. Stay in that presence and let it fill every empty space within you. Because you were never meant to carry life alone. And you were never alone to begin with. Finally, if this message touched your heart, share it with someone who feels unseen. Comment "I am not alone" and subscribe to Divine Insights TV for more messages that awaken the soul, strengthen faith, and bring light into hidden places of the heart.